Hey guys, Dave here. I just wanted to do a quick quickies video. Somber day today. I got woken up that my Aunt Margie had passed away. Um, I don't usually share my personal information. I don't need your, oh, I'm so sorry, prayers, blah, blah, blah. I know you mean well and everything, but it's not gonna bring her back. So I'm not looking for attention. This is more just for myself. I haven't really processed any of it yet. Um, Sorry if the light keeps dimming. I'm at work. I'm working third shift. This is the time of night where it's like dead. So I just figured I'd take a quick minute here. This video is dedicated to her, but really it's kind of the story of my childhood with horror on VHS, which led to, of course, my upbringing and my just development into the love for horror in general. Um, my Aunt Margie babysat me a lot growing up, and she knew I loved movies. Anytime I'd go to my dad's, he'd let me go to the video store, rent anything I wanted, no matter what. He'd tell the people that work there, yeah, he's just a kid. He could literally rent anything. So if it was rated R, whatever. I mean, if it wasn't porn, I mean, obviously, but I'm pretty sure I returned some tapes of his quite a few times, and I'm pretty sure it probably was porn. So I'm sure that was fun for them. I would have laughed my ass off if I was them. But she had a decent VHS collection. I know when I was a kid, I thought it was like amazing because we only had a few tapes. This is still around, the early 90s and stuff when VHSs were super expensive, so we didn't have too many. We didn't own too many. Besides me, the rest of my family never really watched movies. My mother and I were just talking about this the other night with the wife there, that she doesn't like to rewatch movies. She's seen a movie once, that's good. My wife and I, we like to rewatch the same movies over and over. The wife likes to watch them a little more closer together. I like to, I'll watch the same movie, but maybe like every year, not multiple times a year. Sometimes not even that. It kind of depends. But so going to my Aunt Margie's house, she had this ginormous, to a child, enormous movie collection. But I remember I always rewatched Return of the Living Dead, Nightmare on Elm Street. She had 1, 2, and 3. That was it. So those are the ones I've seen the most out of the Elm Street series, just because she had those tapes and I rewatched constantly. Those are the ones I rewatched the most. She had other ones I can't remember off the top of my head. But she also had a lot of non-horror, like Beaches and stuff like that. But I know those 4 tapes specifically. And then as I got older, she even gave me those tapes. Or mom bought them from her or something, I don't know. So, and I still own those 4 VHSs to this day. So I'm real happy that I still have those. The Return of the Living Dead's in a clamshell, and the cover, like, I think on the back, half of it is missing. And I think Elm Street 1 and 2, the cases are missing. 3, the case is pretty beat up. But, since then I've acquired multiple other copies that have, the cases, so it doesn't matter. But if it wasn't for her raising me, and with her movie collection, it's like, I don't even know if she was a huge horror fan herself. She never really talked about them. Or if she just bought movies that she saw and looked interesting. She might have just bought them for me, honestly. I really don't know. I never really thought to ask her. But horror also, my 2 loves currently right now are horror and wrestling. And she would buy almost every WWF or WCW pay-per-view, record them on blank VHS, and give me a copy. So, at the time, my greatest loves were horror and wrestling, and today my greatest loves are horror and wrestling. And she helped with both of those, with me growing up. And who knows, maybe they would have been a passing phase, maybe I wouldn't have grown up like to love them as much if she hadn't made them, gone out of her way to make them readily available for me to grow up on. I don't know, but I'll always have her to thank for that. And I just kind of want to throw that out in a video and let people know. Like I said, this isn't a feel sorry for me, boo-hoo, bullshit, whatever. It's more just my childhood and dealing with VHSs and growing up with those and stuff. So it was because of her movie collection that I now have a movie collection. And back then I thought her, I don't know, 20 tapes or so were like huge, and now I own over almost 4,000 movies on all formats, which is fucking ridiculous. But it's good stuff. It was good times. You know, unless I was bad, and then she brought out the paddle. She had a paddle specifically for keeping my stupid kid ass in line, which I'm not surprised. I remember back when I was a kid, and if I saw that kid now, I'd probably beat the holy shit out of him. Because he was a little bastard. Jesus. So yeah, that goddamn paddle. I'll always remember that. Holy fuck. You knew to stop. Stop fucking around when that paddle came out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I wish I could remember what other movies she had in that damn collection, but I know those 4. Elm Street 1, 2, and 3, and Return of the Living Dead are what she had that I watched the most and then ended up, getting from her. Fuck, there were other ones, but I can't remember. So anytime we'd go to the video store, like with my mom or something, or, if I was at my dad's, I would rent Elm Street 5 and Freddy's Dead. I never really cared for 4 that much, and it's like my wife's favorite, go figure, but I just don't think you can bring back demons with dog piss and then kill them by having them look in a mirror. But, that's just me. If you like the Dream Master, that's good for you. It's got a great soundtrack and some really stupid one-liners and really stupid scenes. And, I get up and I feed the fish, and, when I feed the fish, I feed him, and then we watch it together. But I always loved 5, I think, because I didn't get to see it that often. And I remember one time I rented it, recorded the audio. For some reason we didn't have two VCRs, so I couldn't record the tape. So I literally took a tape recorder, put it to the TV, recorded the audio from Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. And I would lay there listening to that tape every night for the longest time. Which is hilarious to think about now. And it just shows how fucking old I am. But I remember that. It was good times. That was a good way to fall asleep. And somehow didn't get nightmares from that. Shocking. But, yeah, and Freddy's Dead, I rented that not as often because it was awful, stupid, and enjoyable, but fucking awful. New Nightmare I couldn't appreciate till I got older, just because it was so much longer and slower, and it's still not perfect. It's good for what it is, but it's just so different from the other ones that Kid Dave didn't really care for it that much. Adult Dave likes it more. It's still not perfect, but eh. Yeah, I could go on and on about video stores and what I rented growing up and blah blah blah, but I don't know, I've rambled enough. So, yeah, this is supposed to be a quickie video. Hey, the quickies always end up longer than my main channel videos. Whoops. But, alright, thanks for watching, guys. New episode, Everybody Dies, coming. It's technically the next day, working third shift, who knows anymore. But tomorrow, later today, whatever you want to call it, I'll release that. I didn't want to release it today, because with you have a death in the family, you run a show called Everybody Dies, it's gonna catch up to you eventually. But and she probably wouldn't have even cared. She would have been like, yeah, just release it anyway. But I just, for whatever reason, I just decided, you waited this long, you can wait one more day. So that'll be coming out soon. Hopefully it doesn't suck. But it probably will. 'Cause fuck me. God. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Dave. And this has been a quickie. 10 plus minutes, but I don't hear you complaining.